Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you week 15, which is April 13th through the 19th. We're looking at subjunctive with doubt and denial. You're going to want to study pages 337 and 340 in your text. After completing this week's assignments, you should be able to form the subjunctive and dependent clauses following expressions of doubt, uncertainty, or denial, and be able to recognize phrases that signal doubt, uncertainty, and denial. When that which is commented on is outside of the speaker's experience, students should know to use the subjunctive mood. They should also be able to read, you should also be able to read two short texts on a travel experience and a famous Colombian singer and be able to answer some short answer questions on what you've read, which will demonstrate your ability to read and comprehend passages in Spanish. This week's assignments address student learning outcomes 1, 2, and 4. All of these assignments are due on the 16th. You want to start this week like all others by looking at your instructor-made videos. There's videos on, or a video on the subjunctive with doubt and denial. After you've watched the video, you want to come back into the class, click on the class participation forum, click on the thread, click on reply, and post any questions or concerns you have about material covered in the video or any other questions or concerns you have about things going on within the class. And if you have none, then you still need to post that you have no questions or concerns. You have a reading comprehension quiz, so when you're ready, you're going to open up the reading comprehension quiz. You're going to read the passages. You're going to hit start attempt quiz now. The passages will be embedded in the quiz as well. You have some short answer questions, and then you have some true false questions based on what, and you'll answer them both sections based upon what you've read. Remember, with short answer, they have to be manually graded. So when the quiz opens up and you see the score, make sure you check points, because like if you misspelled something, but I decided to give you credit for it, it's not going to mark it correct on the test, but the points will have changed. So make sure you check the points before reaching out to me about the grading of your test. Also, we're getting ready for your final exam. Final exam prep. There's another writing piece that we will. There's like a little essay on your final, and I'm going to treat it like we do your other writing. You're going to workshop it. So you are writing about you're writing a fable, and so you want to. So stories contain certain conventions that are predictable to the reader. Fables and fairy tales often begin with érase una vez, once upon a time, and may end with y así fue, and that's what happened. There may also be an explicit moraleja. Stories often include transitions and contrasts with expressions like entonces, de repente, por fin, finalmente. So you want to make sure you're including these themes and then these transition words in your story. This es un cuento tuyo. Escribe una fábula siguiendo el modelo de páginas de este capítulo. Recuerda que los personajes son animales y que debe contener una moraleja explícita o implícita. Okay, so make sure that you are writing a fable. Fable talk about people, and they definitely teach like a moral, like the Mouse and the Lion. You know, where I think I forget how it goes, but like there's a lion who traps a mouse and he lets him go, and the mouse promises that he'll be able to help him, and the lion is like, haha, yeah, right. But then he gets trapped in a net, and the mouse is able to come back and chew through it. So it's kind of like, don't judge a book by its cover. Or like Slow and Steady wins the race with the tortoise and the hare. So you're writing a fable like that. So you just want to make sure that you've identified that moral, that message, that theme that you're trying to teach. And then I've given you some animals that you could possibly use below. And then al escribir, escribe tu primera versión de la moraleja. Empieza tu narración con érase una vez. So you want to start off with once upon a time. Escribe 2 o 3 oraciones en el imperfecto para describir el lugar y los personajes. So remember, you're going to start off with once upon a time, then you're going to give me a few sentences where you describe the setting and the characters, then you're going to give me a few sentences where you explain the problem or the conflict between the characters, then you're going to give me a couple of sentences in the preterite when you're going to tell me what happened and how it was resolved. So pay attention to this. It's telling you also what tense. So when you set the background, like describing the people, describing the problem, describing the characters, that's all imperfect. But when you talk about the actual action, the actual event that happened, the problem that you have to resolve, that's all going to be in the preterite. And then explain explain the moral that was taught through your fable at the very end. And so you're going to write this and send it to me, and then I'll give you feedback, and then you'll be able to use that feedback to write the final version for the essay piece on your final exam. And that should be everything that you have to do for week 15.